All right, homework 10.4. We need to be able to be ready for our test, making sure we can solve with and without matrices. Um, so let's look at how this goes. I'm going to do number 3, and I'll do it both ways. It says, Mr. Woodward's class of 30 kids, there were 5 fewer students who have A's than B's. There are 6 more students who have C's than B's and F's combined. The number of students who have B's is 1 less than twice the number of F's. Okay. The first thing we need to do is to define our variables. So I'm going to say A is number of students with A's. Notice A's is not good enough. It's the number of students who have A's. That's what the variable is going to stand for. B is the number of students with B's. These quote marks mean the same thing as above. So C equals number of students with C's, and I'll put D or F equals, this will be off to the side, F equals number of students failing. Okay. So we need to write a system of equations. The first thing I notice is that it says there are a total of 30 kids. So that must mean the total number of kids who have A's, B's, C's, and F's combined, when we add them all together, has to equal 30. There are 5 fewer students who have A's than B's. That means the number of kids who have A's is 5 less than the kids who have B's. We take away 5 from the kids who have B's. There are 6 more students who have C's, as there have B's and F's combined. So the C's is the B's and F's combined plus 6 more. The total number of students who have C's is 6 more than the B's and F's combined. And the last equation, dang, I should have given you guys more room here, I guess. The last equation is the number of students who have B's is 1 less than twice the number of F's. So the number of students who have B's is 1 less than twice the students who have F's. We take away 1 from 2 times the number that have F's. Okay, so I'm going to solve this in 2 different ways. I'm going to solve on another sheet of paper how to solve this by substitution. And let's recall that when using substitution, we simply find one of the variables we know what it's equal to. For instance, A equals B minus 5, and plug it into every equation where there's an A. Now, there's only one equation that has an A, and that's okay. We're going to go from 4 equations that have A's, B's, C's, and F's to only 3 equations that'll have everything but A's, B's, C's, and F's. And this is how it looks. Our new system of equations is going to say B minus 5, that's what A is equal to, plus B plus C plus F equals 30. So all I did was I replaced A with B minus 5 here and rewrote the equation. The other 2 equations are going to stay the same because they already didn't have any A's in them. C equals B plus F plus 6, and B equals 2F minus 1. So that's my new system of equations. Now I only have 3 equations with 3 variables. We always simplify this. And only the first one can really be simplified, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to combine the B's and move the 5 to the other side by adding 5 to both sides. And now I've got my simplified equations. And so again, I can take one of the ones I already know. I know that, oops, sorry, it's shaky. I know that B is 2F minus 1. And so I'm going to take that and substitute into the other 2 equations wherever there's a B. Where there's a B in this first one, it's going to say 2F minus 1. Where there's a B in the second one, we're going to say 2F minus 1. And we're going to rewrite our system of equations. And now we'll only have 2 equations, but with only F's and C's. So it's 2 times 2F minus 1 plus C plus F equals 35. And our other equation is C equals 2F minus 1 plus F plus 6. Okay, 2 equations, only C's and F's in them. Again, we can simplify this. When I simplify this, this is going to be 4f minus 2 plus c plus f equals 35. And c equals 3f plus 5. 3f plus 5 gets plugged in for c. I guess I could have simplified first, but I'm just going to use substitution on this. So 4f minus 2 plus 3f plus 5, that's what c is. One more substitution, plus f equals 35. And I'm going to go ahead and solve this. I've got all these f's. I have 8f. And I can add 2 to the other side and subtract 5. When I do that, I get 32. F is 4. Hooray. Oh man, you guys didn't even see all of that stuff. That's okay. Here it is. We substituted 3f plus 5 in for c. And now we only have one equation with one variable, which we can solve. Once we have that f is 4, we can plug it back into previous equations to figure out what all the other ones are. So f is 4, which means if I plug it in right here, I can find what c is. C is 3 times 4 plus 5. So c equals 12 plus 5 is 17. That's part of my solution. And now that I have c and f, I can go back up. Let's find a good place. B's are 2 times f, which I know. So b is 2 times 4 minus 1. B is 7. And the last thing we have to go back and find is what is A. And A is B minus 5. So A is 7 minus 5. A is 2. This is my solution to the system of equations. And once I have a solution, I need to answer the question, 2 students have A's. Okay, great. Now, that was really long. It didn't need to be so long because you could have solved it using a matrix equation. You have to be able to do it both ways on your test. The no calculator section, you have to be able to solve it like I just did. But the calculator section, it's so much easier to solve it as a matrix equation. And the way we do that is we first set it up where we rewrite the system of equations in standard form where we line up all the variables. So this first one is already lined up. A plus B plus C plus F equals 30. But we're going to line up all these other ones where all the variables line up and the constants are on the right side. So the second one, I subtract B from both sides, and I get A minus B equals negative 5. This third equation, I'm going to subtract the B and subtract the F, and I'm going to make sure to line them up where the B's line up with the B's and the F's line up with the F's. So it's going to be, this equation is going to be negative B plus C minus F equals 6. The last equation, I need to move the F's to the other side, so I will. So I'll do negative minus 2F minus 2F, again making sure to line them up. B minus 2F equals negative 1. Here's my system of 4 equations. Once I have that, I can turn it into a matrix equation. The matrix equation has the coefficient matrix, which is the coefficient in front of each one. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, negative 1, 0, 0, 0, negative 1, 1, negative 1, and 0, 1, 0, negative 2. That matrix multiplies by the variable matrix, A, B, C, F, because when we multiply it, the row multiplies times the column, A plus B plus C plus F, which is what this was, and it needs to equal the result matrix, which is 30, negative 5, 6, negative 1. These are the constants. And once we have this, we have A times X equals B, and all we need to do to solve it is we multiply by A inverse on both sides of the equation. And A inverse times A gives us the identity. And here it's going to be A inverse times B. And the identity times anything gives us our variable matrix. So our variable matrix, which is A, B, C, F, equals, well, we have to do A inverse times B. And this is where a calculator comes in handy, because calculating the inverse of this matrix by hand kind of sucks. This is not a good method if you don't have a calculator. In a calculator, we go to the matrix button, which is right here in blue. So we press second matrix. We first go to edit. We're going to edit matrix A. It is a 4 by 4 matrix. And we put in the coefficients. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, negative 1, 0, 0, 0, negative 1, 1, negative 1, 0, 1, 0, negative 2. We also need to go back to matrix and put in matrix B. We're going to edit it. And this is a 4 by 1 matrix. 30, negative 5, 6, negative 1. We quick go back to the main screen and we just type in A inverse, which is the same button as matrix just without pressing second. A inverse times matrix B. And this gives us our answer. Our answer is x equals 2, 7, 17, 4. And again, this x is A, B, C, F. So A is 2, B is 7, C is 17, F is 4. The number of students who got A's were 2. The number of students who got B's was 7. The number of students who got C's was 17. And the number of students who got F's was 4. So we get the same answer as before. 2 students got A's. Hopefully that's helpful. Good luck with the rest of your homework.